Everybody, welcome back to the show. This is one of our special segments. This is also part of our coming back celebration type thing where we had a whole bunch of videos come out at one time. And this is a new segment we have where we discuss how we think movies ended on cliffhangers. So this movie I'm going to do is one that you're probably all familiar with, Inception. Again, if you haven't seen Inception, don't watch this because it's going to spoil everything for you. Now, in Inception, just go over some rough things because you probably haven't seen it in a while. It deals with dreams and a dream world. And the main character played by Leonardo DiCaprio his name is Cobb. And he's been trying to get back home to his kids, but the authorities in America think he killed his wife, so they won't let him come back home. He can't see his kids. So he goes around doing jobs, going into people's dream, trying to take ideas out of their head, take thoughts out of their head. And in the movie Inception, his new job is try to put an idea into somebody's brain, and that's where the title Inception comes from. So to just hit a couple of things to lead up to how it ended, when they're in the dream world, they can't tell for sure if they're in a dream or the real world because of how the brain works. And if I'm sure you've all had dreams before. When you're dreaming, no matter how ridiculous it seems, you don't know you're dreaming. So the way that they find out they could tell if they're dreaming or not is each person that's with Cobb's team made what they call a totem. And it's something that, I guess based on the laws of physics or something that they don't understand, that like, because you're in your dream, your mind can make a reality that's believable. So they bring something in that their mind can't possibly like comprehend, so that they can't make it look realistic. So for instance, his totem is a spinning top, and I guess because he can't understand like the laws of physics, like how this top is supposed to fall exactly and things like that. If he's dreaming, when he spins the top, it'll never fall. And so if he's in the real world and he has this top and he spins it, then it falls. Then he has to be in the real world because only the laws that govern the real world will make that top spin. Now, I hope I didn't lose you on that, but that's how it goes. So to me, the top is important to figuring out if this movie, if in the end, it's reality. So let me get to that. In the end of the movie, the Asian character, I think his name was pronounced Sato, he gets sent to limbo, which is like, it's deeper into a dream. It's like you're not in your dream anymore. It's like in a deeper part of a dream where you can't wake up from it and your mind is lost. And it's like, of course, you don't know if you're in reality or not. But this is the world you see in the beginning of the movie and at the end. And Sato is an old man because even though it's only been like a couple of seconds, as you learn in the movie, time works different. So he's been there for like decades and he's grown very old. And Leonardo DiCaprio, or Cobb, he goes to limbo to rescue Sato. But the problem with that is that once you go to limbo, there's no guarantee that you'll come back. So he takes that risk. And the way it looks is that he goes and saves Sato. They kill themselves because if you remember, if you're in a dream and you kill yourself, it wakes you back up. And so he kills himself. They both kill themselves to wake back up because they're in a dream. And Leonardo DiCaprio wakes up and he's back on the plane where they induce the dream state and everybody's all right and everything's perfect. Sato, the deal with Sato, because Sato's the one that did the job, he tells him that if he does this thing plants this idea in this guy's head for him, that he'll use his connections to get the feds off his case so he can go home to his children. So again, if I'm losing you, it's probably because you didn't see the movie. So like I said, he's when he gets back to the real world, I say that because we're not sure at this point. He sees everybody. Everybody's all smiling like, yeah, we did it. and he goes through customs and they check, and nothing comes up, so they letting him go by, and his dad's there, and he goes home, and when he gets home, he sees his kids playing out in the yard, and he spins the totem, and which is the top, and he walks away to go greet his children. Now, the important thing about this is the director, Christopher Nolan, said that it's not important if the top stopped or not. It's important, and it's more powerful that he finally accepted fate. Because if you watch the movie, he has plenty of dreams where he sees his kids almost exactly like he does at the end. He always sees it the same way. They're out playing in the yard together, and they're the same age and wearing the same clothes as the last time he saw them. But when they turn, he never can see their face. Well, in this clip at the end, it was kind of weird because his kids are doing the exact same, looks like they're doing the exact same thing that they did the last time he saw them years ago. But it's important to know that they're older now, they look older, and their clothes are different. Now, this is not good enough to say, okay, yeah, they're, it's real or not, because unless his kids were the same age and wore the same clothes, then you could be like, oh, this is a dream. Because he's been gone for years, so there's no way they'd be the same age, for sure. But to me, the fact that his kids are older and have different clothes and he can see their face now doesn't really reflect if it's reality or not. Because the problem about him seeing his kids older or seeing their face is not with the dream, where it was with him accepting. Like, he couldn't accept seeing his kids, so he could never see it in his dream. So if he had accepted his fate, no matter if he was dreaming or not, then it would be no problem for his mind to create what he would perceive as his kids being older with different clothes. That's easy compared to the things that you've seen in this movie. So that's not good enough to say, oh, he's awake or he's dreaming. But the real clue here is, of course, the totem. Now, if you've seen the movie, he turns away to the top. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if this is real or fake. He's finally with his kids again, whether it's a dream or reality. But the important thing about the totem, if you ask me, is when it's spinning, you see it wobble after a while. You never see it fall because they cut it off. That's the thing, the cliffhanger. That's the whole cliffhanger of the movie. You don't know for sure if it's a dream or not because you don't see if the top falls. Well, the simplest way to say that this is, to me, to say that this is real life that he's in is the fact that after about a minute of spinning, the top starts wobbling. Now, earlier in the movie, you see him spin the top. The first time you see him spin the top with a gun to his head because he's like, okay, if this top doesn't fall, then I shoot myself because I'm dreaming. The top fell in like 15 seconds. It started wobbling and it fell. Now, he spins this top for a minute before it starts wobbling. So it's like, oh, it might not stop. It might, start spinning straight up again. But the thing is that in the movie, one important thing that I see is when him and his wife were living in the world by themselves for all those decades, he spun the top in a safe, and it was there for decades, and it was, when they saw it again, it was standing straight up. So, if the top stood straight up for decades without wobbling, then that's just how it goes. So the fact that the top wobbled, to me, is proof that he wasn't dreaming, that was real. And some other person brought up a good point I just saw on the internet, that his wedding ring, if you look, when he's dreaming, he's wearing the wedding ring. And usually when he wakes up, he's not, if you can see his hand, he's not wearing it. And in the scenes where he's on the plane and things, he wakes up and there's no wedding ring. He gets to his house, there's no wedding ring. So I really think he's in real life. You can go back and look at this stuff again to, get refreshed. But the director says it's not important if he woke up or not. It's just that, because he could still be in limbo, just imagining this, dreaming this. But he says the important thing is that he accepted his fate. I don't think that's good enough because, if it's not real, then what does it really matter? Like, if you're just dreaming that you're with your family again, that's not good enough. Because, okay, you think you're with your kids, but your kids don't really have you, You see what I'm saying? So I think it was very important to know if he, is in the real world or not. But I'm glad that the director ended it on a cliffhanger, because here the movie came out like, 2-3 years ago, and we're still thinking about, did that top stop falling? So I hope this is helpful to you. Again, if you didn't see the movie and you just watched this, then I feel sorry for you. But if you did see the movie and you didn't know what to think, I hope this helped. So, there you go.